Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adam Show. My name remains Adam Slofimolajide, and you guys are welcome. Especially, how is life generally? How is work? Hope you guys are acing those goals and you guys are soaring high up there. All right, so welcome to the show. This is the 129th episode, and on today's episode, we would be looking at building a formidable team for your business. We're looking at we would be looking at rather how to form a formidable team for your business. And before I go into what I have for today, if this is your first time of being about freelancing, entrepreneurship, and everything else that can actually help you to grow in your journey. All right. So on this topic, how to build a formidable team for your business. I know that like a lot of you guys that tend to listen to this program are um, solopreneurs, and as you get to a point that like you realize that you can actually not do all of these on your own, and you definitely need to build a team around your business that would help you move to the next level. Unless if you probably just want to stay where you are and you really do not really want to like step up. But for anyone who sees far, for anyone who has a vision for the company, for anyone who wants to grow, then one of the ways you can actually grow is by building a team to be able to work with you, because these people are the people who can actually carry on your vision even when you are long gone, or probably like when you are no longer the head of that business. All right. There are tons of people out there who actually have team members. Okay, this week being the Easter week where we celebrate the death of our Lord Jesus Christ, I can actually use him as an example as someone who actually had 12 team members, that is his 12 disciples. So if he could have actually had team members, then who are you not to actually have team members in your own business as well? All right, so what are the things that like you need to look out for? What are the things that you need to do if you have to build your own team? Number one on my list is you need to be able to work with people with diverse backgrounds. All right, work with people with diverse backgrounds, and it is really, really essential for you not to get people just from your own line of work, or probably people that just think like you, that cannot think from another angle. Reason being that like there would always be loopholes that you cannot see for yourself, right? If you had everyone do just like you, then you guys would not be as creative as possible. But if you have people from different walks of life, from different backgrounds, you'd realize that like when you're thinking this way, they are seeing it from another perspective based on their own background. And at the end of the day, you guys can actually rub minds together and then like see that like, okay, we can actually take this thing towards this direction other than what you actually thought originally. So it's always beautiful to have people with diverse backgrounds get to work with you. Okay, really important. Number two on the list is set ground rules from the very beginning. Now, once people you are bringing into your team join in, if you do not tell them your expectation, if they do not share the vision of the company with you, if they do not know where you are headed from now to the next 5 years, then they can as well just do anything as they please. They could as well just bring their own agenda to the company. So you need to like actually set the rules and regulations for them to realize that like, okay, once you're into my business, these are the expectations. These are the things that like I expect you to do. These are your job roles, and this is where um, your role ends. Right? You are not meant to poke nose into another person's business if it is not in line with their work. Set the rules for them. Let them know the company culture. Let them know the vision for the company. Let them know where you are headed to, and also how you tend to bring them along on that journey. Um, they say that like a land with no rules has what's that word again? Right, I can't actually remember right now, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there's no sin. A land with no rule has no sin. Meaning that like if you did not set the ground rules for the people, then they can as well just do as the like. So rules are really, really important. All right. Number 3 is treat each member as an individual. All right. Now, everybody or every of your team member, when they join your team, would actually have different strengths and weaknesses, right? Now, you do not treat A the same way you treat B, because they are two separate individuals. How they function differs, how they see life differs, and what makes them to be at their best would definitely be different from every individual person at your workplace. So you need to learn how to actually treat every one of them based on their individuality. All right. Don't just feel that like just because somebody is acing it in a particular aspect of your company, that means that like every other person is not doing well. It only goes to show that like the person that is acing it at that point in time has all the tools they require to be able to do or to be able to give their very best to the company. But if you can learn what makes each person tick, right? You know the strengths of each person, you know the tools each person needs to be able to soar, and then you provide these things to each and every one of them. Then you would realize that like every member of your team would be able to give you their very best. All right. You don't just allocate tasks to members who do not have strength in that thing. Yes, I know that like there'll be times where you are trying to build someone to a particular level, but you really should not give them that full responsibility until they've been able to like grow to that level. All right. Work with them based on their strengths, based on their capabilities and their strengths. It's also the same as the story of the talent. There was one that was given 5 talents, there was one that was given 2 talents, and then there was one that was given 1 talent according to what they are capable of doing. So also as a good leader, trying to get your team members to give you their optimum, know what they are best at, and then give them according to that. All right. So that's number 3 on the list. Number 4 on the list is build connections among members. Now, it is not enough for you to be able to like bring out the best in them. You should be able to tell them also that like, hey, you guys need to be able to work together. All right. Let them understand that like this person, this is the strength of this person, this is what this person is capable of doing. Don't try to like lord things over the person just because you feel that this is the way your own version of life is, or the way you feel that like this is how work should be done. Don't push your own agenda on people. Tell your members that like they should be able to like realize that like, okay, this person I'm working with, he works better during the afternoon than the morning. All right. So if you want to give him the task, the bulk of the work, make sure that like it's around this time. Let them understand each other. Let them be able to form a synergy amongst themselves. Right. When they're able to do this, then they'll be able to like give your team their very best. They'll be able to like work together and you'd actually enjoy it. All right. So that's number 4 on the list. Number 5 on the list is learn emotional intelligence. It is very, very important. You do not react to everybody based on how you feel. All right. Realize this. I've been saying this from the very beginning that like everybody coming into your team is coming from different backgrounds. They've had different experiences working with other people before they got to come to your team. And even if they've never even had to like work with any company before, right? They've had experiences in life that has shaped their mindset. So when dealing with them, realize this thing and then work with them accordingly. Don't just lash out at people just because you expect them to like do something in a certain way and then like they do not give you that and then like you start reacting towards them. No, wisdom will tell you that like how can I build this person to the level that like I want the person to be able to like do this particular thing. All right, rather than reacting, okay, you work with them with wisdom and you would be able to like build them to the point that like you want them to get to. All right, number 6 on the list is commend their strengths. One of the things that like I realize a lot of team heads get to do is that, like in an attempt to push people to give their very best, right? They tend to talk down on people, and then they feel that like if they are comparing them to other people, if they are trying to like talk them down, you should be able to ginger them to actually get to or give their very best. It really doesn't work that way at all. Not even in most instances. It does not work that way at all. Just because something toxic worked for you doesn't mean that like toxicity would be the norm wherever you go. All right. You should be able to like praise them for their strengths if they did a fantastic job at a particular thing. Tell them, hey, you did a great job here. I commend you for this. You are really, really superb at this thing that you do. All right. Individual differences matters, and then commend them for their strengths. Whatever you see that like they are doing well, hype them, praise them, give them the accolades that they need. They're like, hey, dude, you did a fantastic job here. I need to praise you at this. Now, even if they have other lapses that like they're actually still working on, right? You should be able to get to that level that like you are trying to build them up to where you want them to get to. But in the meantime, praise them for the things that they are doing well. All right. So that's number 6 on the list. And number 7 is communicate at every stage in your business. It is very, very important. One of the things that like I realize that like a lot of people do is that they tend to harbor things. They tend not to like open up and say their mind at every point in time as leaders, right? As some people will say that like I am putting all your wrongs inside the cooler till everything like is full, and then like I'm going to pour everything on you. If you do that with your team members, it is going to put them on the edge. They will not be comfortable working with you, and they would realize that this is a toxic place. I need to move away. Communicate with them at every point in time. Don't just assume that like they know what they are doing right or what they are doing wrong or what they need to do part time. If you feel that like something has to be done right now, rather than keeping quiet and then saying that like I'm going to postpone it till the pent up anger in me explodes. Nah, you're going to lose every single person in your company. Learn to communicate with your team members and also teach them to be able to communicate what they are passing through with you. It is not enough for you to just tell them what to do and then like tell them part time. Let them also learn to give you feedback at every stage of the work they are doing so that you can tell them what to do, or if there is need for you guys to make rearrangement on the original plan, you guys will be able to like do it easily and seamlessly. Communication is key. Communication is very, very important in every facet of one's life. All right. So number 8 on the list is reward effort. Okay. If your team members are doing exceptionally well, it is one thing for you to praise them, it's another thing for you to reward them for the things that they do. All right. If you feel that like, okay, you guys just had a win, reward everybody. You guys should take time out, have fun, or probably like it's an individual that is doing something, praise them for it, give them a token for the things that they are doing to encourage them that like, hey, if I could have gotten this out of this little that I did, that means that like I can actually get more if I give much more to this company. That would help your team members to give their very best when you reward them for the good that they do. And then last but not least is build them to become leaders just as you are, right? We know that like you are the team head, but it is very, very important that like you build your members in such a way that like they realize that like they are not just members of your team, but someday they would actually become leaders and they need to act accordingly. Assign them roles. Don't just be that person that like gives them assignments and like it keeps monitoring them, right? Trying to like breathe down their neck. Now, trying to like communicate with them differs from breathing down their neck and then like not trusting them enough to be able to like carry out their tasks. All right. Give them responsibilities. If they fail, you tell them, okay, this is where you got it wrong. And this is what you can actually do at the next phase of the business, or the next time you try to like do this particular task. This is what you can do to get it right. And by the time you get them to that level that like you trust them enough to be able to like handle the business on their own, then you know that like, okay, when you're sleeping, when you're not available, your team members are going to give you their very best. With these 9 points, I want to believe that like if you are going to build a team and you apply all of these, your team members would be great and your business will soar to the next level, to the next point that you really, really wanted to get to. All right, guys, as I always say, please like, share, and tell your friends about this program. And this brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope to see you guys again this coming weekend. As I always say, be the best version God has created you to be. From myself to you guys, have a great evening. Sign out, guys.